All right, this is video number 2 of this new idea called series. Series, all a series is the sum or the total of a sequence. So notice, a sequence just writes out the numbers. A series actually adds them up. And so what you should know is a sequence, you're always going to have a list, but a series, you're actually going to have an answer. You're going to have a sum. So that's the difference. If I don't put the plus signs, then I got to assume you're talking about a sequence. Or if you put the commas, then I got to assume you're not talking about a series, right? The series has to have the plus signs because we're finding the total of all the numbers in my list. And so we're going to use the capital letter S. Let me use a different color. We'll use the capital letter S to signify the sum. And if you see a little subscript n, that means we're only going to sum the first n terms. So if we are looking at this sequence, S sub 2 means I'm only going to add the first two. That's why they only added 3 and 5, and my answer is 8. But this is what I mean. S sub 2 is an actual answer, right? Because it's a series, it's a sum, you're totaling, you're getting a number. S sub 3 would be 3 plus 5 plus 7. That's what they wrote out. And if you add those together, I think you get 15. S sub 4 would be 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. And if you add those together, you'll get 24. S of 8 would be 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. I got to go all the way to the 8th term, right? So I have 5 terms here showing, but I got to start from the beginning, right? From the first term, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way to the 8th term. So I got to add another 2, and I'll get 13. Add another 2, I'll get 15. Add another 2, I'll get 17. I think that would be 8 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to add all these together. Well, I already know that these 3 equal 24. So then I'm just going to add 24 plus 13 plus 11 plus 15 plus 17, right? So I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm just going to use my calculator to do that. I'm not going to try to do it in my head. 24 plus the next number plus the next number plus the next number plus the next number. And if I do that, I get 80. So S sub 8, we call this the 8th partial sum. The 8th partial sum is 80. We call this the 3rd partial sum. Third, because there are only 3 numbers that we're adding. Partial sum, because we're not adding all of the terms in the sequence, we're only adding part of the sequence, and it's only the first three terms. This would be the 2nd partial sum. This would be the 4th partial sum. And that is how we create series values and how we do partial sums. Partial sums always have a capital S, and it always has a little subscript number. The little number tells you how many terms you're going to add together. In this case, we're going to add the first 8 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. S sub 3, the first 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to get an answer. That answer is the 3rd partial sum. This answer is the 8th partial sum. That's how partial sums work. In the next video, we'll talk about the notation of how to write series using what we call the sigma notation.